Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Shadow Sorcadin build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a multi-class of the Shadow Magic Sorcerer alongside the Paladin, and it's actually really strong because it can hide out in the shadows, cast spells, and it can do a lot of damage as well. Now with this, we're going to be starting off, you got a choice here. So if you want heavy armor proficiency, start with the Paladin. If you want to get the Constitution saving throw proficiency, start as the Sorcerer. Constitution saving throw proficiency will help you hold your concentration on spells, which is really effective when we got spells like darkness that we want to set up. So with this, we got our subclass feature, superior dark vision, seeing into the dark up to 24 meters, and the strength of the grave. When you hit 0 health points, you gain 1 instead of becoming downed. So we'll start off with the Sorcerer here, and for our ability scores, we're going to go 16 of the charisma stat, and then we're going to go with 10 intelligence and wisdom, 14 constitution, and 8 strength. Something like this works well because we're going to use charisma for our spell casting and dexterity for our overclass and initiative. I'll be covering the full build guide here, as well as gear to use, so what armor and weapons, as well as showing off a combat guide so you know how to use this in a real fight. So at level 2 here, we get our sorcery points. We also get the ability to choose our meta magics, which I would recommend Twin Spell because Twin Haste is really good, and Distance Spell because it increased range of spell casting is very nice. Although we could get an ability later on if we were to go full spellcaster. If you're using level 20 mod, you can get that with this. But we get to choose a spell here, and we're going to go with something like the Thunderwave spell. I guess I should have mentioned the first 2 spells we'll be getting are Magic Missile and Shield. Those are going to be the most effective spells for just overall survivability. But taking Thunderwave is nice too because it gives us a pushback. Sometimes there's just going to be a nice opportunity for us to take out an enemy by using that, so we're going to go with that. Now level 3, we get the Eyes of the Dark. This gives us the Darkness spell and the Eyes of the Darkness. So this is a special sorcery point version that doesn't use up our spell slots, and basically we get to hide out in this. It does require concentration, but it's very effective and very worthwhile taking. We also get to take level 2 spells with things like Hold Person being very effective. I also like Scorching Ray for the damage and Misty Step for teleporting around. And our meta magic at level 3 will go a Quicken Spell. It's really nice for the bonus action ability to spell cast. At level 4, we get ourselves another cantrip here, and we're going to go with Booming Blade. We previously took Shocking Grasp and Ray of Frost, but Booming Blade will give us a melee attack as well. And then we're going to take our next level spell, with Scorching Ray being a very nice one. But you can also go with Misty Step, since we miss out on one of our later abilities with the Shadow Magic Sorcerer. We also get to take a feat, which I would recommend going with Charisma for overall better spell casting. And at level 5 here, we get our sorcery points increase. And we also get some really fun spells. Haste is really nice because you can haste yourself and an ally with twinned meta magic. Fireball is always a good choice. Fireballs are just fun. And Lightning Bolt also one of my favorites, just because Lightning Bolt, typically you're going to be able to line up multiple enemies in a straight line easier than having a group of enemies for Fireball. So I find this to be one of the better ones. Now level 6, we get the Hound of the Ill Omen. This is what we want to get out of this. This gives us the dog that we can summon in. And then whenever the dog attacks a creature, it applies an omen, which we can get sorcery points back from. So this is infinite sorcery point, infinite glitch, basically. Not really a glitch, it's part of the game. But next level, we'll take either haste or fireball. Those are the 2 best spells here. I'm going to go with fireball. You would want to go typically haste because twin haste is really nice. Although twin haste means you can't do your darkness. So next level, we're actually going to go to the Paladin here. And we're going to go with, for our subclass, I like the Oath of the Crown, but Oath of Vengeance is just the best choice here. We get Inquisitor's Might, adding our Charisma modifier as radiant damage that can daze targets. Whenever they're dazed, you're much more likely to hit command on them, which is something that we can get here. So from our Paladin spell list, I would recommend grabbing all of these smites, as well as obviously command being the most effective spell here. Divine Favor is not something we're going to use often, same as Bless, so we can go with Cure Wounds. Any of the concentrations are typically not ideal since we have other better concentrations. With a fighting style, defense for +1 armor class is the best choice here, just for better survivability's sake and hiding out. So at level 3, we get our Vow of Enmity here, which we can apply to ourselves, and this will give us advantage on attack rolls against all enemies. We also get Abjure Enemy, but Vow of Enmity is the best. Hunter's Mark and Bane are 2 of our other spells that we'll get, and for this we'll just leave it as is since we got Command, our main spell there. Level 4, we just get to choose a feat, which will use our Charisma increasing ability score improvement there. And then at level 5, this is where we get our extra attack. So we also get ourselves Hold Person, so you don't have to take that from the Sorcerer. You could alternatively take the Scorching Ray spell. And we also get Misty Step. So with this, we get to also choose some level 2 spells. So we'll do with Aid and Branding Smite there, which is quite nice. So we got all of our spells lists selected here. Now we got ourselves a choice. So this is our final level. We can go with this here. So this will give us the level 6 Aura Protection, give us +6 bonus to saving throws. giving us a bonus to saving throws is really nice. However, since we got the warlock, we could go with the hexblade, because this will actually convert all of our damage attack rolls into charisma. So with that, it's really good. Being able to use charisma for your weapon attacks is nice. You also get the hexblade's curse, which you can apply a curse on an enemy. This is a really great single level dip, and it actually fits very thematically here. So we can also go with, like, we already got this shield spell, so we can go with something like Armor of Agathis. I guess we'll take shield anyways. And for the cantrips, we get ourselves the ever powerful Eldritch Blast, and we can take Toll the Dead as well, because that can be pretty good damage. Although you could also take another level sorcerer to get level 4 spells and things like Wall of Fire, but I think this works out best because we are a split caster melee attacker hybrid. So what this will end up looking like in actual, or for actual gear choices, so we got a lot of good options here, but what gear will be? So for weapons, early game, the if you can get Fowler Alluve, that'd be a good choice here. So this just gives you the Fowler Alluve melody, which allows you to hit targets with a shrieking song. Also, Sacred Star is not a bad weapon either. This will apply radiating orbs on the targets. We can reduce attack rolls with that. Really, it's your choice what weapon works best. The true best one would probably be Sharp Spear of the Evening. This does give you the darkness, I mean, or it can't be blinded, so you can hide out in your darkness, although we can also do that normally with our Sorcerer. So it's not fully required. If you want to use something Mark of Heshker, you can use that for better spell casting and getting higher level spells. And even something like the Justiciar's Scimitar, because this can blind the target as well. Or the Knife of the Undermountain King's another nice mid-early game weapon. So those are some good options there. I'm personally going to go with the Sharp Spear of the Evening. I find this to be one of the most effective weapons for any darkness-based build, because you get a free darkness attack. But you can go with any of the other ones as well if you prefer. So for the helmet, we're going with the Birthright. This will give us a +2 to our charisma, which makes our charisma upwards of the 22 here. And with this in total, we'll also get the Cloak Protection. This gives us 27 armor class. We have the Armor of Agility, which gives us a really good armor class, and we can also stealth with this because it does not impose disadvantage on stealth. That's why I went with this over heavy armor. The Gloves of Bigger in Skies, this will, whenever we do Radiant, Thunder, or Lightning damage, we stack Reverberation on the enemy, which is really nice. Since we have a lot of Lightning and Thunder-based spells, we got Booming Blade, we got Lightning Bolt, we got Divine Smite, but we can also swap this out. Helldust Gloves are a good late game item. I'm going to keep it like this. The Evasive Shoes will give us a better armor class, but also the Boots of Stormy Clamor will further stack up Reverberation, so that can be really nice on this build. And then also going with Viconia's Walking Fortress, Hellrider Longbow for +3 initiative, Ring of Protection for better armor class, and Killer Sweetheart because critical hits on a Divine Smite just go really hard. And then we also got ourselves the Hamlet of Greater Health. You can obviously swap that out if your team needs something elsewhere, but this ends up being quite powerful, so I'll show you what this looks like in actual combat because it's a lot of fun. Also, don't forget to summon your Hound of Ill Omen because it's a good boy, and this will help you with regaining your sorcery points since we don't have many of them. It's going to be hard. We use up half of them with this, so he needs to get at least 3 back to prove his worth. And something like that as a darkness does take up 2 of them, and also a quicken spell will take up 3 of them, so you got to be very conservative on using them. So to set up, I actually recommend going with darkness if you know you're getting into a fight, because this can be nice for just setting up a spot where we're going to camp out it. I'll use a level 2 spell slot version since we have not that many spell slots, and we'll use it right about here so that when we got the darkness set up, we can go ahead with just overall attacking. So I guess getting into things, Minsk rolled a better initiative, but we'll just skip his turn there. Now what we want to do is we want to camp in our darkness and hope to bring as many people as here as possible. That's where the command spell comes in handy, because you can use command to allure people into there where they're going to have disadvantage on their attack rolls. So with this, we also can just go with, obviously, Divine Smite being one of our biggest and most baddest spells. So we're going to use this on a variety of enemies. This will hopefully take them out. Perfect. That did. And we'll go for the next target here. So Divine Smite is really nice because it's going to, if we use our Executioner, this will give us hopefully another one. That didn't. And we apply the Hexblade's Curse. This is perfect. So they have 4 stacks of Reverberation on them, which is awesome because then we can further knock them prone. And what we want to do is set up into a spot where we can just camp out at. So there's multiple enemies right there. What's nice is we can actually hit a bunch of them with a lightning bolt. So we're going to move into a little closer position to this target here and blast them all with a lightning bolt because we're going to hit actually a lot of targets here. And we got counterspelled, of course. So that's all right. What we'll do is now we'll just go into our darkness here. And we got a bonus action ability, so we can do is we can use like our Inquisitor's Might to give ourselves additional radiant damage on our attacks for a turn, or we can go with our sorcery point magic or even we can apply a Hexblade's curse on a target. So we'll go ahead and apply another Hexblade curse there. So there's now 2 targets that are cursed with the Hexblade's curse. And we get into our darkness just to camp out there. So that the big thing is hiding in our darkness, we got spells, we got divine smite, we got pretty much the best damage. This is actually pretty crazy because it's powerful. More powerful than some mod classes, which is kind of funny because what Baldur's Gate 3 gives you is a whole bunch of different abilities to multiclass. So darkness really messes them up. You're going to see here, they're just going to run around. You're coming with me. For some reason, when darkness gets involved, it messes with the enemy's AI. They also can sometimes throw weapons into the darkness. That's not supposed to happen, but it does. So something to encounter. But you'll see, they'll typically avoid us or just go after our dog. Now with our dog, it will have the ominous bite here, which we can use to set up curses and critical miss. Unfortunately, he's got the Hexblade's curse. I thought it would hit, but whenever they have an omen on them, they're going to be able to give you your sorcery points back. So that's going to be a main source of us getting sorcery points back so we can do quicken spells. What's funny is these targets here just skip their turn for whatever reason. So, hey, we'll take it. Now, another thing again, Vow of Enmity here, we can apply onto ourselves. This will give us the advantage on attack rolls. So, this is nice. It applies for 10 turns. This is really, really good. So definitely use that if possible. Now in our darkness domain, we got a lot of movement and mobility that we want to use. So lightning bolt, if we don't get counterspelled, this will hit 5 targets. This is going to be a very, yeah, of course. Anytime you can get a spell that's going to hit multiple targets, I'd recommend using that just because it's better to use something like this, stacking up reverberation on multiple targets. I don't know why it didn't apply on these enemies. It did on one of them, but yeah, the thing with this is anytime you got ability to hit multiple targets, it's better than just going around and divine smiting just a couple. So that is priority, definitely. Also, our dog can splinter off into another dog, so you get 2 for the price of 1. The dog will act on its own accord. And what's kind of cool is you can also use, or if it's the dogs get hit and you heal them up, they can continually keep splitting into more and more dogs. But we'll try that ominous bite again, see if this will work this time. There we go. And the ominous bite applies a, and I can't tell which of these it applied, but it's supposed to put an omen on this target. And whenever there's an omen, then you're going to attack with that damage type, and you'll get your sorcery points. I don't know what's happening here with this floating character, but we'll take it. So Thunderwave is another really nice one, because if you can set this up properly, what Thunderwave will do is you can literally just knock 2 people off of an edge. With a proper setup, this is actually one of the best damage options that we got because, there we go, we got both of them there, and we knock both of them off. Perfect. So for a level 1 spell slot, removing 2 targets is actually a very high value, so we like things like that whenever they pop up. And then you also got your, you got a bunch of different spells like Scorching Ray and Eldritch Blast, but typically what we want to do is use our Divine Smite if all possible, so we can go ahead, I guess we'll walk towards this target and then use Divine Smite. And this gives us a good chance of hitting, so, and there we go, took that target out. That was the biggest threat to our pupper, so I didn't want to see our dog get hurt. And then we can sneak our way back into the darkness. We still got an extra attack, so I unfortunately can't hit anyone with this, so an arrow sometimes works as a good backup whenever you had a main weapon attack. It stacked up 2 turns of reverberation, so I think that was worthwhile. And we still have 3 sorcery points, so we could use a quicken spell and use something like a Scorching Ray on this target, or go with even a cantrip. You got lots of options with this, so I think we'll go to Scorching Ray here, and we won't upcast, actually we will upcast to level 4, and we'll hopefully take out this target with our advantage here. Boom. Didn't do enough damage, but it was good. It reduced them by half health, so that's not bad for a bonus action. Our dog will also do the Umbral Tangle there, which can lock the targets in place, and then we can go ahead with our dog here and go with another bite. So Omen of Acid, there we go. We finally got the Omen applied. So we got to use acid damage, which I don't have. And that's the unfortunate part about this, is sometimes you do get an unfortunate bit of luck here. But yeah, that's part of the class. Actually, we do got an Acid Splash, so perfect. We'll go with this, I guess, and drop that down. We got our sorcery point back, so that's perfect. And we took out the target, so that was ideal. Now we got one more target to take out that are right here, and since I can't get that close to them, I'm just going to use a lightning bolt, which will hopefully take them out. There it is. So yeah, the Shadow Sorcerer, hiding out in its darkness, casting from it, and even using Divine Smite. It's got a lot of cool abilities. You get even Eldritch Blast and the Bind Hex weapon, so you got lots of options. It's very powerful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button too if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.